The crew worldwide, from Cali to Twitter, real hardcore fans, boxing ass niggas, consistency cops, police the views, we'll pull up receipts for any debates you choose. Shout outs to Clan Archie for the dope production. Ring Gang stay with the best discussions. Ring Gang Radio.
Card, and then the other card was PBC on PBC on Fox, where it was supposed to be Jermell Charlo versus Tony Harrison 2, the rematch, but Harrison decided that his ankle was hurting, wink wink, and he needed to get that surgery done. Wait,
yeah, that's what happened. Hold out. Let me hold on to this dog a little bit longer.
Oh shit, nigga! Bro, you sound like Computer Love. Shooby doo wop, right in this on the microphone, nigga.
Bro, hold on, wait. The engineer got to dial that one back. So hold on. What did you say, bro? Wait, I gotta hear this.
You can hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, much better.
Yeah, I said that nigga pitched out because he wanted to keep his title a little bit longer. He didn't want, Charlo to just come in the ring and whack his ass and grab it back. You feel me?
Yeah. I mean,
let me get a couple more months.
I low-key feel that way too, but if he said he injured himself, I'ma just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and like I say, in like the trash talking had been A-class trash talking. So like they was talking that shit to each other. So I was anticipating to see what would happen, but it wasn't meant to be. So
it was just funny trash talking. I'm so competitive, I can't even play video games. Like I don't want to lose at 2K or some shit.
Yeah, nigga was a straight fool with it.
These niggas, man, and I seen one interview. It almost seemed like Tony Harrison was saying that Charlo could have just, they could have just called off the whole fight, and they could have fought again, like in September.
They probably could have, but I think either they wanted. Most likely they probably think about other people in the car too. It's just like
that and shit. I don't want to, shit. If I'm still able to fight, shit, why not? Let me get these 3 rounds of working.
Yeah, let him collect that purse real quick. Grab that bag, get an easy win, go home, and prepare for this nigga in a couple months.
Yeah, I don't fault Charlo for taking the fight. If that's the case, shit. Because then what? These niggas only fight once and twice a year already. So you mean Charlo would have just went this whole time inactive, waiting since December, and these niggas would have fought in September? Like, come on. Both y'all niggas would have been rusty. So nah, fuck that. Low-key Harrison try to be slick.
Yeah. So but we'll get into that fight in a minute. But there were 2 other fights that were televised. The first one was the purest favorite, Guillermo Rigondeaux, aka Rigo, facing Julio Ceja. And this fight was an eliminator, WBC eliminator at 122. And of course the winner would be facing Ray Vargas or whoever his opponent on July 13th. So now Rigo, unfortunately, as we all know, Rigo has had probably the most politically fueled, challenged career in the modern era. Going back to, 2013, where he became the WBA, WBO, and the lineal champion of 122 by beating Nonito Donaire. Unfortunately, it was not the most interesting fight to watch. Save for the knockdown, and Guillermo Rigondeaux's promoter Bob Arum, Top Rank. Well, let's put it this way: his fighter Donaire, who is a fan favorite, lost, and he didn't make any new fans of it. So pretty much you had situations where Rigo was thought of as an aftermath. He had another fight, which unfortunately, there was a fight where he was outshadowed by James Kirkland, destroying Glenn Tapia, and when his fight came around, people were actually leaving. So this was a problem. So it's just like, then after that, he was relegated to fighting on HBO Latino, and I believe that HBO Latino card was his final one with Top Rank. And ironically, he put the guy away in the round. And after that, he's been fighting overseas. He's been fighting overseas in Japan and Britain and all that, save for a one-off appearance on a Top Rank pay-per-view, which again did not win any favors. Then he showed up on the Going Away pay-per-view, and it was a fight that I thought I would have won money on since I bet against him, and I should have won money because I bet it on a loss. And and the accompanying ref said, "Oh no, it's a no contest." Even though you knocked somebody out after the goddamn bell, that's a fucking disqualification, not a no contest. But I'm not mad though. I'm not mad. It was meant to be. And then of course he loses to Lomachenko on ESPN in a horrible fight. And then afterwards he was relegated to the background. So to actually see him on national TV on Fox of all places. So we're already anticipating that, man, this nigga may.
And once again, he gets the underrated good look.
Yeah.
People always want to cry a river about Rigo's career and all the opportunities he don't get, but this was a prime good look right here for him. And what happened?
Yes.
He gets hands put on him.
Yes, I get to see Rigo on free TV, over the air TV, nigga. That's the same to me. Even though I still watch it on cable though, but just that you can actually watch them on over the air TV though. That's big thing. That's an opportunity. And
that's the biggest opportunity.
Yeah, right. So I was thinking, oh man, this fight's probably gonna stink it out. Surprisingly, it was part of the best fight the whole fucking weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Rigo and Julio Ceja, they went to war. It wasn't like there was no feeling, no process, no funny shit or whatever. They stood in each other's range and fired off bombs at each other.
Back and forth, nice ebb and flow.
Yeah,
there was like pity. There was like touch punches. There was bombs. There was range finders. Every type of punch was thrown, like uppercuts, hooks, jabs, rights.
Yeah,
lead lefts, everything.
Yeah, I'm over here just. That fight had me sitting upright on my couch, and then usually I'd be reclining like a motherfucker on there. But the shit was the fact that Rigo was getting hit so much, it was fascinating to me. So I had to sit up and watch this shit, instead of lying. So.
Most hits ever, right? I think he got hit with over 200 punches.
Hell yeah, that's the most I've ever seen Rigo get hit. I think recorded, it's the most he's ever got hit in a fight, and like. This motherfucker, his cheekbones were so high, they were like Jada Pinkett's, nigga. It was so fucking high in his face. Like, that's how small his face was, nigga, man. Rigo took some punishment, and say how can punch. He's 32, he has 28 knockouts and 32 wins. Like, he was hammering that dude.
Yeah.
Rigo, like he stumbled like two or three times.
Yeah, he hurt Rigo a couple times, and he wasn't really able to hurt Ceja like that. Like I felt like the body work was kind of getting him, wearing him down.
Yeah.
So those overhand lefts that he was launching, they was finally doing more damage, but that stoppage, man, like, come on.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the stoppage too. But then, like I said, Ceja, I think once Rigo busted his nose, I think that's where I want to say the tide changed because Ceja was in the fight, but I could tell. Rigo. One thing though, he does punch hard. He's an above average puncher at 122. He's incredibly above average punches. He punches, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, Ceja is actually taking this shit. And
he's a big puncher actually. Like for because usually when you get these guys who are super slick and they're stylish, defensive, they're usually guys who can't punch and they're super negative. But Rigo is one of the rare guys who could do all that slick shit, but he can knock your ass the fuck out too. Like
Yeah.
You know, especially if he starts leading with the offense, like which he did in this fight. You know.
Yeah, he did
it off early.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, man, like this dude is about that Tim Bradley versus Provodnikov life. You know, this nigga's throwing himself into the fire and catching some shit from this young Mexican. I'm like, this is crazy. But then
just threw himself into that shit. He's like, fucking.
And then and then in the 8th round, that left hook though, I mean, hard ass left hook, floored Ceja. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then what happened was Ceja bounced up immediately. Like he wasn't stumbling, he didn't wobble, any of that shit. But the referee,
he took it.
Yeah, like he acknowledged that, and he got up clear-eyed, and he acknowledged that he got hit. And Russell Moore, who's probably one of the most incompetent referees alive, but I won't get into him. Now, at some point, we might have a future podcast or a future article about referees, a good referee versus a bad referee. Either Shutterworth da Gawd will write it, or we talk about it on the podcast. But when we do, that motherfucker Russell Moore, we'll talk about him. But he got up, and it's like he didn't even tell him to like walk towards. Like, I mean, he just got up and just stopped the fight. And see how
he was coherent. He was completely coherent. He walked up to him. He was like, "Damn, this nigga just hit me, but I'm good. Let's go."
Yeah, and
this nigga just called it. He just hugged him and called it. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that was a horrible stoppage. And what was worse too was there's only 1 second left in the round. Like, he deserved a chance to. It wasn't like it was like 2 minutes left or whatever. At least the
reason. That's what I'm saying. Like, the fight was too fucking good. There was too much heart being shown. There's too many fades being thrown. It's like to stop the fight. It's like, because you could low key, the tide was turning a little bit for Rigo. Like, the momentum was more in Rigo's favor, but Ceja was still in the fight, and it's like you almost kind of giving Rigo. It's like you're like, damn, Rigo, if you can't really put this nigga out, we'll help you out, because we don't want him to, come back stronger after you drop this nigga and he come back and beat your ass. So
he get up
right there.
He got up and he didn't even start counting the ref, right? The ref didn't even start counting yet when he got up.
Yeah, I don't think Moore issued a count. If he did, I might have.
No.
Yeah,
he got straight up.
Yeah, it's like he stopped counting. Like, I don't think there was a count. Like, he just stopped it. Like, also, like, you know what? Rigo's had enough. Like,
there's two guys. Usually, there's the ringside ref too. Like, there's the song that starts the count, and unless Moore just completely ignored his ass, because there's someone because referee in the ring is supposed to pick up the count if he's late from whoever's counting out from the outside. And I don't think he even did that. I think he just looked at his nigga and decided
when you standing up too, and it's like he just hugged him immediately. I'm like,
I mean, if I was here, I probably would have just stayed the fuck down there and just take the whole 8 or whatever, or something like that, and pop up.
I don't know, man. It's like, what can you bruh, this is like some Trayvon Martin shit. Like, what can you do? Like, it's like, what can you do? Like, what could a nigga done to not get counted out? What could a nigga done not get killed? Like, no one can tell us why, because this is the thing. It's like, Buddy getting punished for them getting knocked down. That's what it was to me. Like, it was on some like, well, we don't know if Rigo could close it out officially, so let's just help him out here. We don't want to fuck this up for his career. He's on Fox. You got he on PBC prime time.
Yeah,
funny in the light. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, we all know, like I said, Rigo. I mean, I'm pretty sure Al Heyman probably paid a good amount of money for him, and to have him lose to Ceja, and like I said, the cards. Rigo was down on all 3 cards. 2 of them by 3 rounds, another one by 1. So,
and he was losing shit. That's
he was very much losing, and he was getting staggered. So it was just one of those things. It was just very like, if it was a close fight, and I'd be like, that's the way the shit goes. But Ceja was clearly winning this fight, and he was clearly in this fight even after getting knocked out. And then Mara just caught it. And like I said, I felt for Ceja. I mean, like I said, he was probably on his way to I mean, all he needed was probably maybe like 3 more rounds max. And he would have probably won this fight on the cards. He would have been so far ahead, something like that. And like he was probably close to knocking Rigo down too, but it was unfortunate though. I mean, it was a good fight marred by some shitty refereeing.
Almost want to see a rematch. It's like it was getting to damn 2019 Fight of the Year standards. Like
yeah. All we needed was Rigo to go down, and it probably would have joined the Fight of the Year list, the short Fight of the Year list for 2019.
Yeah. Agreed.
So now I know I'm just reacting. Now Ceja is actually filing a protest with the WBC over the stoppage law. So who knows? Maybe we will see a rematch in maybe in the fall because it's I think it's like 90-day mandatory for knockouts these days, 60 or 90-day mandatory, some shit like that. So
I don't mind shit, I mean, for that type of stoppage, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
don't rob niggas of their moment. Like that was like with the whole. Who was it where Bradley almost got knocked out, but the ref, he.
He's talking about Provodnikov?
No, in the last round where Tim Bradley.
Jesse Vargas.
Oh, okay, yeah, damn, yeah, Jesse Vargas. Yeah, that's the type of shit. It's like people could say, well, it was 10 seconds. But bruh, 10 seconds when you damn near knock somebody out and then somebody stops the fight, it's because they take the fight over and then they start it up and say, oh, okay, hold on, my bad. You still got 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the type of robbery a nigga got with that knockdown. Like, like we didn't see real closure. Like, we just got like you stopped the Netflix series on episode 9 and it's a 10 episode series. He said, "Hold on, nigga. I know it's gonna get good, but that's it."
Right.
Changing the password.
But besides all the madness, one thing is for sure. Watching this fight, Rigo is slipping. Has slipped badly. And it's almost similar to fucking Laura. When you start losing your legs. But in Laura's case, though, I mean, he did have an incredibly hard fight with a much bigger fighter who probably took his prime, in that fight, or whatever was left of it. Rigo is, I mean, record-wise, should be preserved, but there are no old men in the lighter weight divisions. Rigo is 38 years old, going to be 39 this year. It's only a matter of time. And in this fight, it seemed like that time was coming because Rigo is usually known for using his legs to go in and out. He'll throw one punch at a time. He's very defensive. He's very highly defensive. And he'll throw one counter and will only throw combinations if he's actually hurt or shook up. That's how he fights. There was none of that. Like, even as he was getting rocked, he just stayed in the pocket. He couldn't escape Ceja's pressure at all. And I'm thinking, like I said, his reflexes are probably going. Now, luckily for him that he has the power at that weight or whatever, but he's also chinny too. So I just can't see. I see this fight. I just can't see him winning. I can't see him beating any of the. He's not beating Daniel.
They're gonna try to cash him out, man. He's still a name, and this win prolonged his career.
Right.
Just the bottom line, they're gonna feed him to somebody else, make it a bigger fight.
Well, it's an eliminator, so he's gonna face Ray Vargas or the Kamita, whoever, because Ray Vargas facing Kamita next month for his belt. So it's either, the winner of that is gonna be facing Rigo, and Rigo will probably be fighting live on DAZN. So it's just like. I don't care. I think Rigo will be a true blue underdog because, like I said, he slipped so far from where I see before. I just don't see him actually. Like I said, he's going to be cashed out, and most likely, and you gotta hope that he's not cashed out. He's before taking an unexpected loss to someone like a Ceja type of fighter. It's although Ceja is a former champion, that's not the fight that Rigo.
It's not the game he won.
Yeah.
It's not the name they want Rigo losing to right now. You know, it don't benefit the brand.
Hell no. So I mean, but like I said, it was a hell of a fight while it lasted. You know, it was a very, very good fight, and the type of fight that will probably get Rigo some fans. You know, people were waiting for him to have. So I mean, we'll see how things go. And we had a swing bout in between. We had Joey Spencer, the PBC Prospect of the Year for 2018, versus Akeem Black. Oh man! Now I'm sure that you guys have seen this fight too as well.
I like this fight. This was a nice fight.
It was a nice fight, but there are things that I saw obviously that is just like you might need to dial this young Thundercat Joey Spencer back a little bit. His last fight was a decision. You know, that's fine. You know, you can't knock them all out within 2 rounds or so. But this fight exposed some serious flaws on Spencer. I mean, the fight was what, a 6-rounder? Yeah. And Joey Spencer got gassed before 3 rounds. Like
that 4th round, he lost that 4th round big.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he got whooped.
Yeah, and on top of that too, and he was doing his little hybrid. You know, let's fight with my hands down. Let's think I'm Roy Jones or Nassim Hamed, and doing all this shit. And he was getting tagged. And Akeem Black is not the most accurate puncher in the world. He wasn't. And in fact, there were times today where he was just flailing with all he had to do was just step back and land the shots, but he wasn't doing it. But even then, Akeem Black was more than enough. Was catching him with shots that had him Spencer got busted up in this fight.
Yeah. He was hitting him with like basic boxing, we tell niggas stop fucking moving back in straight lines with your head up and your hands down. You know, if you're not moving at an angle or a diagonal or to the side lateral, all the guy has to do is just step forward with a hard jab, and he's gonna hit you every time. We saw Josh Warrington do it to Kid Galahad. We saw it in this fight, and Akeem was scoring with those type of shots whenever Spencer started feeling himself, or it gets too hot in the kitchen, so he tries to back out. He got his hands down, his head chin up, he leans back, he backs up, and boom, 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 he's caught with like 2 or 3 jabs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, come on.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Akeem won this. I thought he won the fight. I just think the punch count threw everybody off, because he was doing 4-punch, 5-punch combos in the last 2 rounds. And he was hitting them. I'm not gonna lie, he was hitting them with at least 3 punches at a time. So that ran his punch. I really think Akeem was in the whole fight to the last 2 rounds. I mean, we started off nice.
Hell, Rome, you're doing the shooting off on the mic again. Oh man, Rome, yeah, you. Rome.
Yeah, nigga, I said I thought Akeem had it.
Oh, okay. There you
go.
Yeah, so yeah, no. I mean, let's just say, just watching that fight, I don't know what Al has plans for him. I mean, I think he has big plans to turn into something, because we all know the white American fighter is the most marketable fighter in boxing. It's gold, especially if you're a white American heavyweight.
But it's like these new guys, they got these little urban, fake ass Roy Jones, fake ass Nassim Hamed styles, and
Caleb yeah.
And it's ugly, and they getting beat up at prospect levels with this. It's one thing, it's like if you get to like contender stats level, so even fringe contender, but you getting whooped up in 6-rounders, prospect level, him and Josh Kelly, what's good? Like, y'all gotta, like let me ask y'all too, because both of y'all niggas know about, I know y'all boxing fans, y'all know boxing from 2 different stages. What do niggas not like jabbing no more? Like, is jabbing like something that niggas just like it hurts to do? Like what is it? Like, why don't niggas do that anymore?
I mean, it could be like either if people are just imitating. I think just, I mean, it could be just fundamentals are not drill like they used to be, like, you know, like a jabbing drill. Like you jab, you know, like 50 times until that shit hurts, and you jab some more, that type of shit. You know, and I think it probably starts at the base in terms of where someone is just like, oh, you're athletically talented, you can move around, you can hop around a little bit, so you can get away with doing this shit. You can do it without, and that's it. And they don't sharpen their fundamentals. Like let's put it this way. I mean, we have Floyd Mayweather. The young Floyd Mayweather used to do all types of shit like this. However, his fundamental training was on point. It was solid. I mean, you saw it. You know, not outside of just the power. You saw him actually practice his fundamentals every fight to the end. You know, and you see prospects. I think once they get it down to a degree, they just abandon it, and they just try to absorb. And then if they go from amateur to pro, like usually they get some sort of they decide to take on some sort of style that they like, rather than something that they, you know, that'll probably be effective for them. And there's no correct.
I mean, you can make a hybrid style. You could kind of blend them together. It's just you could do the leaping left hooks and uppercuts and shit, but you know, control the opponent first with the jab, like break them down.
Yeah, but there's no thought when they're doing it. It's just they're just doing it because it looks cool. And that's what I get. That's what I get when I see some of these fighters doing what they're doing. You know, it's just like it's not.
Ass whoop.
Yeah,
it's all about flash. It's all about the flash, the shine. The jab ain't flashy, but it get the job done.
Right. You know, and I mean, this is the era of boxing where if a fighter actually can win a fight with a jab, not a hard jab, you know, it's you know, they're called a fucking stat pattern, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I forgot about that one. Fucking stat pattern, you know.
You know, but
yeah, I guess you're all right. You know, the jab ain't flashy enough. You know, it's like, you know, it's like the spicy ranch that you just keep in the cupboard. You know, you don't, you know, you bring it out for special occasions.
Yeah, you don't use it every day, but you use it when you can, type shit.
Yeah, and Spencer needs to use some more of that shit because, like I said, you should not be having a blood and guts war at the prospect level. You shouldn't. Akeem Black should not busted him up.
No, wait. We're not talking about prospect level. We're talking about your prospect of the year level.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother expectation right there. Like, we can't grade you on regular prospect level. We gotta grade you on prospect of the year level. You definitely can't have these type of fights where it could have really just been a draw. If you could have really said 4, 5, and 6 was damn Akeem.
Mm-hmm.
You really could have, you know. So get that shit together, because they touting him. You know, it was just all style, no substance.
Right.
Sloppy.
And I think what needs to happen is Al needs to take him off TV. Like, Joey Spencer needs to be like on the untelevised portion after your Ghost Guerrero's fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he needs to do
his homework.
Yeah, he needs to develop off TV, because else he's gonna
get into Hollywood.
Yeah, because else what's gonna happen is he's going to get, you know, if he keeps doing this, he's gonna get exposed on national TV, and you know, and then usually that leads to that could lead to some issues going forward in their career. So I mean, I just hope that's what they need. They need to pump the brakes, dial it back, you know, and change their approach with him. So
agreed. You know,
he got the talent though. He got the talent.
Yeah, he has raw talent, but it's not there at the point where it's a point where they need to do what they need to do off TV.
Yeah, because his talent barely won him this fight, because that's all he used in this fight. And it's like, come on, if you have talent, put some technique and skill behind that shit. Like,
right.
You know, because if your talent don't work hard, then another nigga with less talent, if he work his hardest, then, you know, he could upset you. And that's what it looked like. And one thing I gotta say, like, just to end this shit off with that, you know, niggas look at Akeem record and, you know, they look at him, they probably looked at the guy. You could hear how his father said it, like, they were surprised how the dude wasn't as reckless and he was composed, and, you know, every jobber ain't created equal. Y'all niggas gotta stop looking at these records and just thinking like, oh, it's a showcase fight. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna see if I can look how Roy Jones looked against them, you know, Virgil Hill or some shit, or I'm gonna look how Hamed looked against McCullough. You know, I'm gonna do the, you know, the rocket uppercut punch in the third round. Like, you know, start treating some of these dudes with respect, man. You know, jab and do the basics and beat these guys and go to the next level. Like, you know, you trying to be flashy and do all this fight night bullshit and you getting hammed up and looking bad, you know. Shit, like, I don't even see you know, if you're looking at niggas if people looking at y'all for the first time, I don't see nothing to be impressed about.
Right.
Yeah, I don't, like, you know, y'all want to be like Roy Jones and Hamed, you know, they was doing all the antics and shit that y'all are failing to do at prospect level. They was doing it at world-class level. So you got to understand, you know, your talent is cool, but there's levels when it comes to talent, and you got to know what level your talent is, and you got to put some skills and technique around that bitch.
And that is absolute real talk. And so that brings us to the main event. You know, Jermell Charlo versus Harrison's replacement, Jorge Cota. Jorge Cota was only his most known fight was getting KO'd by Erickson Lubin in about 3 or 4 rounds a couple years ago, I think. So, yeah, so this fight, I mean, nothing was really special about this fight. I mean, basically, Charlo did what Charlo had to do. He knocked him out. Well, he knocked him down first with the right hand. I admit the right hand was thrown so swift on the inside, I barely saw. I thought Cota tripped. I think he tripped in the corner. But dude got up. He was holding on to the ropes and shit like that.
No, and then the ref picked him up off the ground, and then he dropped him again.
Yeah, and the ref in the camera was ruthless.
The ref brought his ass to get slaughtered. Nigga took him off the ropes and dragged him into that shit. Like
and
Billy, you're gonna get your punishment.
Yeah, and the cameraman wasn't shit. Like, he zoomed in and you see Cota's eyes. Like, you can see that shit. His eyes were rolling, and so you could see the birds flying around that motherfucker's head. Like he was in the bushes. He was on cloud 10, not even on 9. He was on cloud 10.
For real.
Yeah. You know, like, dude
bad refereeing for the weekend, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
For that card was bad refereeing, man. Because you just gave, like, Jay Nitty just gave this nigga more brain damage.
Yeah, they could have killed that man with that extra 2 punches.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man!
And you're talking about a murderous puncher like Charlo getting a jab right hand on you. Come on.
Yeah, wide open, clean.
Clean. That's like, okay, look, you walking in a crowded place, and you tap somebody on the shoulder, and now you can have Mike Tyson hit that person. Like, nigga, like, that's not even funny. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's basically what the ref did. Like, he basically took a guy who was semi-conscious, who was barely standing, you know, he off the ropes and shit. He's like, here, look.
He slapped his hands down, like, all right, see if you can keep going. Like, he's just
hold your hands up like this, son. Now, when the punch come at you, you might want to block or move your head, but you know what? You're already knocked out, so fuck it. Just get knocked out again, and then you know what? We'll be good. We'll be good. Like, nigga, you weren't gonna make the fight any longer.
Right.
This nigga didn't even tell him to walk towards him. He didn't even tell him, like, walk towards me. He pulled him. He pulled him off the ropes. Like, come here. Go ahead, fight again.
Yeah.
Like we needed to switch that referee with the referee from the Rigo fight. Are we gonna Thanos snap on this one?
Exactly. Who was in charge of the casting? These niggas retired.
Switch them out, because one referee just, hold on. Let me stop it right now because this fight is getting too damn good for all of us. We don't deserve this good. We don't deserve a fight this good on free TV, folks. You know what? Fuck it. Let me stop it, you bastards. The next guy is like on some, man, we need to give y'all a free public execution on live TV. So here you go. Like, bruh, like, I just don't understand, like, I mean, I'm a bloodthirsty ghoul my damn self, but I don't want to see no one take no shot like that on some unnecessary shit. That's me. That's just me, though. Like,
right, yeah, I'm the same way, too. Like, when a cat can't really adequately defend himself anymore, it's just like, yeah, stop this shit. Don't get it to the point where you see someone, you can just predict that this is going to end badly. That reminds me of the fucking Dingling Man pause versus Nuoto fight, where Nuoto was all over the ring, wobbling, and the referee, he was like waiting for the referee to stop it, and then Dingling Man, Darnell Wilson, hits him with probably one of the most brutal left hooks I've ever seen in my life. And dude was just it was like I remember watching this shit at my desk. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, they need to stop this shit. And then after that, you see him absorb a left hook that should have probably killed him. He's over there. His leg folded on impact. He was out cold. And they end up breaking his orbital, and that's the type of shit that's the type of shit you don't want to see when someone's in trouble like that. And yeah, the referee was lunching in that fight. He was like, "Fuck this shit." One of these niggas is gonna die on my watch. Fuck it, I want to see some blood.
Like these niggas be starved. Like niggas knew the boxing weekend was fucked up, so they was like, "All right, fuck it," And we give some excitement. We gonna see a real nasty KO, courtesy of me. Like, I don't even know if I want to give Charlo that full KO. Like, I got an asterisk. Like, the ref helped him with that KO. Yeah. Almost felt like a double KO.
That is fucking funny. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's nothing more to say. I mean, Charlo did what he had to do in that fight. And he talked a little shit in the post-fight interview. Wasn't really all that interesting. And hey, we're just gonna wait until Tony Harrison comes back in the ring and actually defends his belt. It's Cota, however. Obviously, we probably won't see him on TV again unless they need a star. A star needs someone to do the job or whatever. But
we got to see the Charlos in better fights coming up, man.
Yeah, we do. Well, the other one actually has a fight coming, which we'll talk about another time, probably tomorrow or whatever. He has a fight, and it's not a fight that, that's like, this, they'll probably put asses in seats or whatever, But we'll talk about that tomorrow, though. But yeah, LB is right. They need to be in better fights. Especially the middleweight Charlo, But so yeah, I mean, that was the boxing from this past weekend.